Hello and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day. In order to ensure safety for drivers on the island, the National Police conducted an educational exercise to prevent accidents on the roads of the island.
Throughout the simulation of a traffic accident with an off-road mule vehicle, the National Police seek to influence the public to comply with traffic regulations and avoid traffic accidents. During the activity, the uniformed officers provided recommendations to the public.
Empezamos con esta campaña pedagógica.
We started with this educational campaign to generate awareness in all people who are transiting through the island, but we have divided our work. We have some sectors with clearly established responsibilities. The first is the town sector in coordination with the Secretariat of Mobility. They will generate some information plans to respect all traffic rules in this sector. The National Police, through the Direction of Traffic and Transport, will generate some controls along the entire ring road.
The National Police indicated that they will work jointly with the Mobility Secretariat and car rental businesses to provide information on traffic regulation to those who rent vehicles.
Es obligación de quien la alquila manifestar todas las normas de tránsito.
It is the obligation of who rents to manifest all the rules of traffic and coexistence that must be preserved on the island, and we are conducting controls throughout the department. We have found an important factor. It is that the tourist comes in mindfulness of rest and loses alertness. And this is what we are doing with this prevention campaign throughout the length and breadth.
The control of off-road mule vehicles along the coastal area of the department will be conducted during the next few months in the islands.
And in view of the high cases of road accidents involving mule-type vehicles, the National Police have established control plans to verify the condition of the drivers of these vehicles.
According to data from the Secretariat of Mobility, so far in 2021, 53 road accidents have been registered, most of them involving mule-type vehicles. In order to reduce this rate, the National Police is carrying out verification controls and providing information to drivers.
We are working jointly with the Mobility Secretariat, and we are conducting throughout the Ring Road area, the one that goes around the island, with different checkpoints, both traffic and quadrant police. These police officers provide communication on security measures to all tourists and people who go abroad these type of mule vehicles.
The commander indicated that they are planning to have breathalyzer tests to be performed on the drivers of these vehicles.
This is a measure that can be conducted by the Transit and Transportation Police, and we will already have some checkpoints established, taking into account that these mule-type vehicles stop at key sites such as the Blowing Hole, the beaches of St. Louis, the west of the island, and we will establish these controls.
The National Police, in conjunction with the Secretariat of Mobility, have established the goal of reducing to zero the number of road accidents involving mule-type vehicles in the Archipelago Department.
And in compliance with the goals set within the Secretariat of Mobility, the head of the portfolio informed that he is in the city of Bogota in work tables of the DNP in studies on a new alternative transport system.
During the work tables held with the Department of Planning, two important projects for this portfolio were studied. These are related to an alternative means of public transportation on the island. The final objective is for the community to have the alternative of using a quality means of transportation that implements routes and internal roads that make the frequency faster. This was stated by Luis Torres James from the city of Bogota.
We are studying two projects that are being proposed for the implementation of an alternative public transport system for the islands, which will be important. It will generate a positive impact and in a way mitigate the problem we have of the frequency of this transport. It will also change the perception and implementation of a better environmental system and a more ecological and environmentally friendly transport. All this with the purpose of giving the community the alternative of being able to use a better quality transportation.
According to the Secretary, the idea is to implement more routes that reach the sectors that currently the means of transportation has not reached, and that these routes are carried out more frequently, at least every 8 minutes. The possibility of implementing it on the island of Old Providence is also being considered.
And today is the last day of vaccination against COVID-19. For that reason, our reporter is at the Convention Center of Isleño Hotel with all the information.
Considering that is the last day of mass vaccination on the island, the Secretary of Health, Julian Davis, gave a report of how the vaccination against COVID-19 are progressing.
Today, on the third day of mass vaccination for the first and second dose, it has been a little bit slow, maybe because of the rain. In the 11 a.m. report, we have a total of 14,053 doses applied.
Finally, the Secretary spoke about the goal that was planned for the closing of the mass vaccination day on the islands.
We are comparing it with the figure of the first mass vaccination campaign, which was 20,472 doses. At the end of yesterday, we had more than 14,000 doses added to those of today. We will reach 15,000 doses, bordering on 16,000. And we hope that in the afternoon we can reach 18,000 doses applied.
The Health Secretary also informed that there are many people who came to the Departmental Social State Enterprise to apply their first dose and second dose, and with this they achieve a large number of immunization on the islands.
And in other news, in the morning hours, the departmental government moved to a sector of the island to deliver some school kits for the children of the department.
Good evening, Lisa and Aldi TV viewers. I say hello from here from the Church of Schooner Bight, because from early hours in the morning, the Secretary of Social Development through the departmental government and also the Secretary of Finance made the delivery of some scholars' kits to all the children of this sector. We come to this event to see how it was and also the importance that this have in this important sector of our island.
La idea y la directriz de nuestro señor gobernador Everett Hawkins, la Secretaría de...
The idea and the directive of our Governor Everett Hawkins and the Secretariat of Social Development and its program for children and adolescents, and with the support of the Finance Secretariat, is to reach this sector and mitigate in one way or another the Magic Garden failure. With this initiative, we want to encourage children to be leaders through education, and as a famous phrase goes, that if you educate the child of today, you will not have to punish the man of tomorrow.
A total of more than 120 kits were delivered today, and the Secretary of Social Development said that they hope to reach this sector of the island with other programs.
Para la administración departamental, queremos llegar.
For the departmental administration, we want to reach not only with these school kits, but also with health brigades and oral cleaning kits for the children of this sector.
This is all the information we report from here from this point of the island. Continue, Lisa, in studio with more information.
Thank you, Alice. And the Attorney General's office requested the exemption of raizal people from compulsory military service. Here are the details.
The Attorney General Office of the Nation conceptualized that the exemption of performing compulsory military service enjoyed by members of the indigenous peoples contemplated in Law 1861 should be extended to members of the Afro-Colombian, Raizal, Palenquero, and Rom communities certified in the Ministry of the Interior. In a report sent to the Constitutional Court, the Attorney General Office pointed out that the law only refers to individuals belonging to the indigenous people, which means that the legislator failed to comply with the duty to grant equal recognition and respect to the different ethnic groups in the country. It indicated that such exclusion lacks a sufficient reason, since in the body of the regulation and its legislative antecedent there was no argumentation aimed at justifying such determination. For this reason, the Attorney General Office requests that the expression indigenous contained in the challenge provision be declared constitutional, on the understanding that it includes individuals who can prove their cultural, social, and economic integrity in relation to the raizal people, certified by the Ministry of the Interior.
And in a ceremony accompanied by several personalities from the military and the island civil society, the National Navy celebrated the 198th anniversary of the Battle of the Maracaibo Lake. The commander of the CECIP explained what it was about.
We are on our anniversary. We are celebrating 198 years since the Battle of Lake Maracaibo. And this date is important because it is taken as the beginning of our National Navy. This is how we celebrate the liberating deed of our Admiral Padilla, the one who fought the battle and sealed the freedom of Colombia.
This ceremony was held from 11 a.m. at the CECIP facilities, where recognition was given to those who stood out during the year 2020 in their work for the community.
And now let's get to know other facts that are making news in our brief news sections of today.
The Group of Protection and Special Services of the National Police conducted in the department the delivery of information flyers to the community with the aim of preventing cases of abuse of children and adolescents in the sector of the docks of Portofino and Cotton Key. The Corporation for the Sustainable Development of the Archipelago Corallina calls on citizens to respect the black crab closed season, which ends on July 31st. The environmental entity reminds citizens not to capture the black crabs and to take care of the mitigation process of the species from the forest to the sea. Department's maritime authorities have indicated that sites such as Johnny Key, Rose Key, and East-Southeast Key are currently red flagged. The transit of small boats to the interior of the bay has been prohibited.
And now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for today, July 23rd. In the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky is mainly cloudy. Temperature is 29 degrees Celsius with winds from northeast direction with intensities of 26 km per hour. Humidity forecast is of 74% and probability of precipitation is of 34%.